fellow artists. I hope you are doing well. Today I'm going to be showing you how to draw a rose, and the materials you need are linked down in the description below. To start, you may want to find a reference photo, if anything, only to understand the anatomy of a rose. So you really want to use light pressure when you start, just so you can readjust lines without heavy erasing. When you're drawing a rose, keep in mind that all the petals are sort of sitting in a spiral. So you start with what I'll describe as an elongated C shape that is a little bit squiggly, and from there you would do another elongated squiggly C shape, except it would be facing the other C-shaped line. And you'll just keep building off of this more and more. And then of course those lines begin to change shape as you expand out while still building onto each other. Just think of it this way. There is a tiny petal at the core of the rose, and behind that there is another petal that is a little bit bigger, and behind that there is another petal that is a little bit bigger, and so on and so forth. And finally, when I do the initial drawing, I sometimes like to draw on the shape of some of the shadows. It helps to keep in mind that all shadows are merely various shapes and various tones. Now when you begin shading, try to start lightly and then build up to darker tones. However, you'll notice I don't always do that, specifically when I get into the areas where it's clearly black. I like to use the blending stub to drag the graphite from darker areas. Notice how the area between each petals are dark, which makes sense because, of course, light cannot reach the crevices in between the petals. Notice how the petals curl out and receive the most light. See how I bring the shadow out from the darkest depths of those crevices, leaving the very tip of the rosebud pure white. And if you accidentally shade too much, just use some eraser putty. Always try to avoid using the white eraser when you can. So you can continue to see how I use my blending stub as a drawing tool. I use the graphite pencil in the darkest areas and pull with my blending stub from there. And I just continue to build up the graphite if it needs to be darker in some areas, or use my eraser putty where I've made it too dark. As you fill in the shapes and shades, you'll really see how this rose is coming to life. One other tip I'll give is to have a couple of blending stubs. Use one for very dark areas and another for lighter areas, just so you don't have to use one that has a ton of leftover graphite on it in an area that only needs minimal shading. And watch right here where I build up this dark space, remembering it is only a shape, and leaving a white space where the rose petal has folded over. Notice how when filling in large areas of graphite, I use a circular pattern. And of course, always feel free to use Q-tips to blend as well. And those are all the tips I have for you today. I hope that you found this exercise helpful. Please let me know by giving this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to DM me or tag me on social media with your rose drawing. And of course, hit that subscribe button for more art exercises and to follow me on my art journey. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.